Hello，大家好. If you are a Chinese student learning English, specifically learning how to deal with American managers, hey, this video is perfect for you. I am Lulu and I will share with you a recent question from one of my students and what I taught him. So recently, my student asked for time off, and his manager asked him, okay, do you have anyone to cover for you? And my student said, I don't know. And that was it. And he felt like he didn't handle the situation well, and he asked me for some help. And I thought, hey, if I could help him, let's help some more people. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to break it down into three parts. One, what went wrong? Two, helping you shift into this more American mindset. I'm sorry for the construction outside. It's been like I've changed my room position. I've tried to handle this situation to the best of my ability. So anyway, number two is the mindset shift, and number three is some ready to use sentences so you can choose directly from them and not have to think about how to deal with a manager if you have a similar situation. Okay, number one, what went wrong here is that when the manager asked him if he could take someone, if he has someone to take over his work, it's another way of saying, hey, have you thought about coverage? And when my student, the employee, responded saying, I don't know, it just unintentionally sounds like he didn't think about it, or he thinks, hey, it's not my responsibility. And even though it's not true, but that's what it conveyed. And I'll discuss a little bit more about why that came about in just a quick second. So what you need to do instead, the key mindset to go into a situation like this is number one, take the initiative. And number two, take responsibility. And number three, collaboration. And if you're listening to this and you're like, hey, I do already have all these, I just didn't show it, I just wasn't able to show it, I get it. I think something in our Chinese blood, we feel like if we cannot do something well, we just are not going to do it at all. Do you relate to that? Because I do. And here's the thing, your manager is not looking for absolute certainty in this situation. Your manager is looking for you to give ownership, is to take ownership for this situation. So by taking the initiative, by responsibility and collaboration, by including these three things, you are putting in effort towards the next step. So what you should say instead, and before I get into how, I want to point out something good that my student did. He was honest. He said, I don't know. That's so honest. How much more honest can you be? Right? So he was honest. But here's the thing, in a professional setting, being honest is not enough. You also need to show responsibility. So if he said, I don't know, first he can say it in an elegant, more professional way, like, I haven't confirmed yet. And then he adds another part to the sentence that shows responsibility, which is, but I can check with my team and make sure that the coverage is handled. So why this works is it shows certainty, it shows action, and it shows the manager reassurance. 你让你的 manager 再一次的放心了。Okay, if it's not too much time for back and forth, you're going to make it more concise. When the time is urgent, you can say, I'm not sure yet, but I will make sure everything is covered before I am out, before I leave. Another thing, if the manager says something that you didn't think of, because like we already know that before you go and talk to him, you already probably thought of some scenarios, but maybe you didn't think of one of the scenarios that he or she happened to point out, like he says, this specific part, something specialized, and you're like, oh, okay, then you can point out that that part is specialized or may need more attention, and you can then say, I can document my progress and then do the handoff. And here is the key word, handoff. Handoff is used for handing one task off to another task. Also, in the race competition, people hand off the baton to their next running mate. That's also called a handoff. If they bring something up, like if they are requesting something of you, the manager, and you haven't thought about it, you can say something like, I think that could work, but I will confirm with them, or I will confirm with you. And the idea here is that it's much easier to ask on the spot for a little bit more time to confirm, so a little bit of a pause and delay, than it is for you to accept this blindfolded and then going back and ask for a change to, in a way, to take your word back. It's not cool. So it is much better for you to pause than for you to go back on your word the next day, next week. So here is a repair sentence. For me personally, one of the reasons why it's really, really scary for me in the past to have like conversations with important people or authoritative figures is because I feel like this one conversation is this one grand conversation where everything needs to be said and everything that shouldn't be said isn't said, and every detail should be laid on the table. And this is where it scared me because I wanted it to be perfect. But when I learned that that conversation is not your last conversation, it helped me so much. So even if, let's say, my student in this case made the mistake of saying, I don't know, he can go back the next day and do a repair sentence such as, hey, Mr. Mrs. Manager, I realized I should clarify. I will check with the team and make sure there is a handoff plan. Boom. That's professional, that's mature. I love that. And also, I want you to know that even if your English is not perfect, it's okay. The manager is looking for ownership. The manager is not looking for certainty. And I think this is the gap that I'm pointing out in this lesson. So when you're asking for a time off, remember to show a plan, even if the plan is not finished. This is more of a career skill than an English skill. And I think you're doing an excellent job watching this video right now to learn a little bit more about how to handle business situations. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more content like this.